We had a short week last week, but it was packed with headlines. Here are the ones that jumped out to me and what to look out for this week. All right, the biggest headlines came with unemployment data, which held steady in May, while home price appreciation surged above 20% on an annual basis in March. So let's start with unemployment. On the jobs front, unemployment is actually unchanged at 3.6%. The BLS reported that there were 390,000 jobs created in May, which was 70,000 higher than their initial expectations, but there were negative revisions to both March and April. They removed 22,000 jobs collectively, and that kind of tempered optimism a little bit. It is important to note that the headline unemployment rate actually removes people who are not actively searching for a job. And there were almost 6 million people who are not being counted who do want a job but haven't looked for one in the last 4 weeks. The all-in unemployment rate, which adds back in all these individuals and is more indicative of the true unemployment rate, increased for the second month in a row, rising from 7 to 7.1%. So why is this significant? This could be the canary in the coal mine on unemployment and a sign that things are in fact slowing and that we may start to see unemployment rise. Now, the most notable to me on the jobs front last week came from a different report. The ADP employment report showed that while mid-sized and large businesses are gaining jobs, small businesses with less than 50 employees lost 91,000 jobs in May, and that's after losing 120,000 jobs in April. I know everything is crazy expensive right now, but I encourage you to do your best to try and shop local. They really, really need us right now. Perhaps an even bigger headline, home prices in March were 20.6% higher than a year ago. The Case-Shiller Home Price Index, which is considered the gold standard for appreciation, showed that home prices rose 2.6% in March and 20.6% year over year. This annual reading is an increase from the 19.8% gain in the previous report. Rents are also on the rise, showing that monthly rent increased 1.2% in May and over 15% year over year. So what's the bottom line? The Case-Shiller Home Index, it does lag a couple of months, which is why the reading is from March, but there are no signs of appreciation slowing earlier this year. In fact, if we annualize that monthly 2.6% gain, appreciation would be over 30% for the year. That said, this data does not take into account the recent interest rate increases. Like we said, this is from March, and rates have risen considerably since then. So the data in coming months will be important to analyze, and we should definitely see a little bit of slowing. All right, so what do we look out for this week? It's a pretty quiet week with the biggest report coming Friday with the Consumer Price Index, and that will show us what inflation looked like in May. I'm positive that you'll hear about it nonstop on the news over the weekend, so we should have plenty to discuss next week. All right, lastly, interest rates. Rates moved up modestly across the board with 30-year fixed options hovering between 5.5%, depending on the program, while 15-year loans are just shy of 4.5%. So these are the average locked interest rates for real consumers. This is not the numbers that you're going to see on TV or on an internet ad. So if you're actually in the market, these numbers are far more realistic than what you'll see virtually anywhere else. It's updated daily. It's available all the time at the link below. If you are in the market, I highly suggest giving it a look because it will set proper expectations, allow you to help, kind of budget things out a little bit. These programs all have their pros and cons, and it's important to find the best fit for you. We are super dialed into this crazy market, and I'm confident we can find it for you. This is Ryan G with Mortgage Right Folsom. Give us a call, and we're happy to help.